Episode 4080, The Quiet Work That Creates Loud Success.
Moms, it's time to rediscover, rejuvenate, and renew who you are in mind, body, and spirit. Welcome to Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie, the show to help you do just that. Here's your host, certified life coach, personal trainer, and nutritionist, Christiane Wargo.
Happy day. Are you ready for a brand new week? Oh yes, it is Mindset Monday. I want you to put your leadership cap on for a moment. I want you to dream big today. I want you to pull things out of the closet that you've been hiding back for a long time. The quiet work that creates loud success. For those of you who are brand new to Create Your Now, welcome to this incredible family. I'm so delighted of your presence. If you already didn't have the opportunity, you'll want to head on over to createyournow.com where you can learn more and sign up for the Kisses newsletter, the Keep It Simple strategy, everyday solutions to live, love, and impact. Well, this episode is brought to you by AIM, Inspiring Connection and Community. Well, I really do hope you've had an incredible weekend. Let's see, I've spent my time with grandbabies. I love that. We had a great time celebrating grandma a little bit. Yes, that's what happens when you hit a new speed limit sign. Actually, it's really kind of my first original speed limit sign, but we'll leave that one for another episode. But it's been a great time. And, one of those things that you just don't take for granted. And I think life is so short that we think we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. But then when something happens or someone near us has kind of a upheaval of something that disrupts your everyday, you begin to look and you start to count your blessings differently. You see things with a different set of eyes. And so today I really want to encourage you to open up your heart, open yourself up to what God has in store for you. This is not about me. And honestly, it's more about you and your heart, connecting your head and your heart to what God has, His divine design for you. And sometimes I think we just get so bogged down with just everything in life that honestly, we rush over what matters. We gloss over it. We don't mean to. It's just because, we have to do all the things and all the stuff. And with all of that can be a good thing, but also can be a detriment to where we're headed. And so I wanted to look at things a little bit differently. And it's a story as old as ambition itself. Everyone wants to get ahead. Who doesn't, right? I mean, go back to, if you played sports, it's like, that competitive side in you, you wanted to get ahead. You wanted to win. You wanted to accomplish big things. And maybe even as you were growing through high school and college into your career, you started thinking, gosh, this is what I would love my life to look like. And you begin to build the life that you crave. Yet, the truth is simply profound and often the most challenging. What makes the biggest difference is the quiet work that creates loud success. Now, let me tell you this here for a moment. Success, I'm not saying necessarily means that you're on top of the world. Success is defined by your definition, not mine, not your neighbors, not your mom's, not your spouse's, your definition. And so let's just take me, for example. I look at my podcasts. Oh, would it be nice to be like the Joe Rogan of life? Now, honestly, I probably could be if I really wanted to be. I can talk an awfully lot, but quite frankly, I don't have time for that. Why? Because the people I love right now, who I know God has placed on my heart, is my mamas. Right now, I know, guys, you're out there listening. I hear you. I see you. But this whole podcast started, why? Because I knew mamas were standing there, flustered, having to do everything and not being seen and heard and feeling lost and just wanting to do what they wanted to do, what they've been gifted and talented with. And so that's where this all started for me. Now I can say, oh yeah, wouldn't it be nice to have billions of followers and get paid millions of dollars? Would that be great? Yes. But I'm not in it right now. I mean, I'm not going to turn down $1 million. I'm just saying. But it's not about the dollar sign. It didn't start out that way. Now, we're growing and it's going to have an impact on that we're going to need support. It just is. We can't continue to do this on our own. So that's going to be up and coming. But I share this with you to say, a lot of times what we want and what we want to build doesn't come in the loud spaces where everybody sees it, right? It comes in the quiet spaces where the quiet work is done. It's the progress that happens in the quietness of Well, yeah. Do I really have to get up? Yeah, you do. Do I really want to? No. Who's going to be there? No one. So, well, would it even matter if I showed up? Yes, it does. And you know that, right? It's that grind that goes unseen. The early mornings you're not tweeting about. The late nights where the world is asleep and you're wide awake pushing past limits. You've been there. You've had to do it. When you want to move ahead, you can't rely on moments of public glory and applause alone, right? It takes real momentum, and that real momentum comes from the whispered work in the shadows where no one's looking and only you see. The little things you do consistently when no one is watching add up to the breakthroughs that change the game of life. So what have you done in the past to get ahead? Think about your career, your relationships, your marriage, your community, even your church. What jumps off the page? Think about it for a moment. And now if nothing does, okay, don't get alarmed about it. Maybe you just got a little lucky because your responsibilities were different than now. So let's go back. Maybe you started your career and you got through college and all of a sudden you're like, okay, I'm going postgraduate. Now postgraduate, you're like, yeah, I'm working on my doctorate and I'm headed out there and I got this. And all of a sudden, surprise, a little one comes along. You're like, oh my goodness. But you see, up till then, there was nothing happening. Right? I mean, there was stuff happening, but I'm saying your focus was school, 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 school. And the responsibilities were little. But then you add a little cute patootie, with you and this little petunia that's absolutely adorable. Now you're going, oh, it changes the game. Yes, it does. And so what is it for you? What jumps off the page? What has changed from then to now? Really give yourself permission to notice what you did or didn't do back then. Maybe you weren't even married. That in itself is challenging, right? If you're married and you're trying to figure out all the things, it's challenging. It's, you're going to find these struggles and you're going to find it where, will we even survive it? Can we get through? If you want to break free from the norm, elevate your day to day so you can impact the world that you touch, you got to build that invisible routine. That is your kiss to keep it simple strategy. Build your invisible routine. This is all about what you need to do when no one else will see it. No one else is noticing. And believe it or not, that usually is more than what we think. Now, you might be saying, well, Christiane, this is great. It was wonderful when I played volleyball or when I was in the basketball team and, when I was playing tennis. This all worked out for me. But in my career, in my marriage with my kids, how do you build an invisible routine? How do you do it where it makes sense to where you want to go, especially as you get older, right? We're talking about the speed limit signs, right? Where are you on your speed limit sign? I'm talking about your age. Now, don't tell me your age unless you want to share it. That's fine too. But I mention that because a lot of us sit there and say, oh, I'm over the hill now. There's no way I can start anything. Yes, there is. What's holding you back? Age is just a number. You can defy age. Keep your mind working. Keep your heart connected to your head. Because let me tell you, nothing is impossible. God's got you in this. And if God has laid a calling on your life and you're drawn to this, or that you're supposed to do whatever you're going out to seek to do or to elevate it, right? It could be your own business, right? Maybe you own a brick and mortar store. That's fabulous. Maybe you have big dreams. Maybe you've been doing $1 million, but you're ready to take it to $10 million. Fabulous. Awesome. Guess what? It's not going to happen overnight. Guess what? You're going to have to do the quiet work so you can create the loud success. But a lot of times we don't think of it that way. Now remember, put the definition of success in your mind for you. I'm not going to define success. I can sit there and Google good old Webster and Wikipedia and Grok and Claude and ChatGPT, you name it, and I'm going to get 100 different definitions of success. The only definition that matters for success is yours. Because it's your success. For me, go back to Joe Rogan. I'm extremely excited that he does so well. But quite frankly, if I'm ever supposed to be as big as him. Let's just pretend this story, because understand this, and I'm being honest with you, that's not my dream, okay? If God creates it and blesses it, that's his story, not mine. My thing is to lead with the love God has given me for the people I want to serve. That's where I come in, hence Create Your Now. And I truly have that, and I hope you feel that, because you are family. I don't believe it's an accident that you're here. I pray for you every single day. And I know living life is not easy, especially when you want to live it God's way. And sometimes you're probably like, frankly, Christiane, I feel like I have more crap to deal with. Oh, sorry, the CRAP that I have to deal with. If you have young ears, I apologize. But seriously, right? If you have all of that stuff and you're like, it should be easier when you got God on your side, and sometimes it isn't. Not because you do have him on your side. It's just because you got Satan coming after you. It is what it is. But let me tell you, I would much rather be doing life with God than without him. And this is not just your dream. This is God's dream for you. These are the goals that he set for you. And so if you really want to take it up to that next level, right? If you want to be the Joe Rogan in your career or in your family, whatever it is, you fill in the blank, you figure out that success, then you've got to build your invisible routines, because if you do not have them, that doesn't mean you're not going to be successful. You just may not be the Joe Rogan successful. Okay? And that's all right. There's nothing wrong with that. Understand this. This is not about how big can you be in your career or in your family or in your marriage, right? I'm not saying that at all. This is what fits for you. This is your definition. This is your life. And you've got to figure it out. But honestly, we don't think about it. We just keep going through the motions. We check off the boxes. If we have a hiccup, like an oak tree that falls, right? And you're like, oh man, now I've got to deal with the insurance. And now I've got all these other things. All of a sudden you're like, right? And you have to take a breath. Maybe it's a medical crisis in your life. And you're like, this is a little scary and I don't know what to do. And you have to stop. You have to pause. Maybe it's one of your kiddos, right? Who knows where it is, but you do, and God knows. And so when you're looking at this and you're trying to figure out your life and what it's supposed to be as you continue to grow in wisdom, you got to have those invisible routines. Otherwise, you're not going to make it to where God wants you to go. Because if you're trying to do everything in front of everybody, I promise you, you're going to miss the mark. You will. Joe Rogan isn't Joe Rogan because he just decided to pick up a microphone and start talking. Go back and look at his resume. Go back and look to see where he started and what he did and the experience he gained before he became the Joe Rogan, right? That we all know that can sit there and talk forever and ever and ever and gets all the stars and all the people and all of this. Okay, that's great. If you want to be that, go. But guess what? You're going to have to pay your dues. That's what my dad would say. That means you have to put in the hard work. Build your invisible routines. What does it look like in real life? Number one, own your first hour and last hour. How you start and end your day sets the tone for every minute in between. So get ruthless with distractions and make your first waking hour a ritual of focused progress. Maybe it's writing, maybe it's planning or reading or exercising. Maybe it's grabbing your Bible and not just doing a devotional, nothing wrong with that, but it's getting into God's word. Whatever pushes your goals forward, that's what you need to focus on before anybody else is waking up in the house. Same for the last hour. Use it to wrap up what counts, reflect, and prepare mentally for the next day. And let me tell you, you'll also sleep better. Do that brain dump. Don't sit there because you're going to lay down and your head's going to hit the pillow and you're going to be like, wait, I meant to do this. Oh, and on the to-do list, I need to remember that. Then all of a sudden you doze off and you wake up 45 minutes later going, oh, I didn't do that either. I'm sure you've had that night at least once in your lifetime. It's not fun. So give yourself that space, right? And what this does is it truly allows you to bookend your days with intentional action that compounds over time. But you've got to be willing to do it. Own your first and last hour. Number 2, block time for small wins. Massive breakthroughs often come from 1,000 small wins. So set aside 15 to 30 minutes twice a day for just those no fluff focus on micro tasks that build your foundation. Maybe it's refining your pitch or learning a skill or answering the hard questions about your strategy. Whatever you are, looking at stats to figure out, okay, if we're going to grow this brick and mortar store to 5 million, we're at 1 million. What is that going to take to get us there? These whisper moments aren't flashy, but when they pile up, they create a tidal wave of progress that outspaces and outpaces, literally, anyone waiting for inspiration or motivation. Because let me tell you, inspiration or motivation, you can find the inspiration, but the motivation, it ebbs and flows. It's just, blah, you could have it, maybe not. And yes, I know that's why I have it written into our every week, right? Every Tuesday and every Thursday that we have that inspiration, motivation, because we do get down. We do get tired. We need that pick me up. But I can't always be in your ear. I mean, go back and listen to them. We've got thousands and thousands to listen to of podcasts. But here's the thing. When it's all quiet and you're willing to do the work, I can't sit there, and you're probably not going to be in the mindset to be like, oh, I got to turn on Christiane so I can get that motivation so I can actually do what I want to do. No, it's got to come from internal, your head and heart connection. And that's what we tend to miss. So hence you got to block time for small wins. What can you do? The little things that create massive impact. And then finally, number 3, build a no excuses environment. My friend, it's easy to do when the coast is clear, right? Like, oh, no big deal. But the real test is when life gets noisy, when the oak tree falls, right? It's true. So build systems that force you into your whisper time, whether it's setting alarms, clearing your workspace, or block scheduling days with no distractions. Maybe that means if you have littles, guess what? Get a babysitter. You can do more in 2 hours than you can in 6 hours with the kids. And you'll actually finish things better. Because I guarantee it, I've done it before. I used to have a home daycare. I was licensed for 12 kids at one time. I mean, you name it, it got crazy. And if I really wanted to build what I thought it would look like for like just even my daycare and taking care, and I really didn't call it a daycare, it was a day school. If I really wanted to build it the way I wanted to, I couldn't do it when I had all the kids. I had to do it in the quiet moments when no one was looking. Does that mean I had to put in hard time and longer hours when everybody else was sleeping? Of course. But here was the deal. It was my no excuse to me. I wanted it. I knew it was what I was supposed to be doing. What is it for you? Guard these periods fiercely. No phone scrolling, no meetings, no social distractions. Get off your social media. Your future self depends on your uncompromising self-discipline to protect your sacred time. This is sacred time, your no excuse environment. But you got to be willing to say, okay, this is what I need to do. This is what fires me up. So I was watching the French Open. I love my tennis. And of course, it's the Grand Slam. But I was watching it, and I believe it was the 3rd round. And Joe Fonseca defeated Novak Djokovic. Now, if you follow tennis at all, that's like jaw-dropping. This is a 19-year-old, I believe. And he took out Novak Djokovic, who was stopping and really hoping, that he would make his run for his 25th Grand Slam. That's where he was headed. But Fonseca said, no, you're not, and I'm going to stop you. And he did. He lost the first 2 sets. Djokovic won the first 2 sets. But guess what? Fonseca actually came from behind in the 3rd set, took the 3rd set, the 4th set, won, and took the match, the 5th set. It was absolutely incredible. But you see, what Fonseca needed to do during this match did not happen in front of everyone. He had to pay his dues behind the scenes, so when opportunity arose, he was ready to strike. It was all the stuff in the quiet time the quiet work that he had to do, getting up early, staying up late, keeping on a routine. Okay, maybe not staying up late all the time, but staying up late to do maybe, watching films of whoever he's going to play with, not just relying on his team to do the work. He had to put in the work, the head and heart work. It takes a lot. My friend, reaching your dream does not come from empty wishes or hopeful thoughts. It requires quiet work to create loud success with greater impact. Everyone wants overnight success. It'd be nice, right, to be the Joe Rogan, making millions of dollars just to run your mouth. Okay, I say that tongue in cheek. I think he does. He has some great interviewing skills. He's wonderful. If you enjoy the long session, it's wonderful, right? It's good. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. What we need to understand is that we're not going to get to him and his level overnight. And in all honesty, you don't want to. Why? Because you're going to burn out fast. You really won't have that skill to hold you long term. But see, Joe, he did that. He built it long term. Go back and look at his resume. You see, the late nights, the early mornings, and the quiet choices when no one is checking in are the real engines of achievement. That's where you get ahead. That's where you find your lane. That's where you get to stay in your lane. You can talk a big game publicly and still get stuck standing still. Or you can do the hard, silent work that no one yells about and end up miles ahead. One step at a time leads to miles of greatness, my friend. So you've got the chance to choose which story you tell. Will it be the one of empty promises or one of consistent, unglamorous action that leads to undeniable success? Where do you want to go? You get to decide, not me. The pressure is not on me. And honestly, the pressure isn't on you. It's you get to make those decisions. So start with the silent routines, the ones you build away from the spotlight, and watch how far they take you. Go in peace, be present, be incredible, be you. I love you so very much. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. Blessings, hugs, and lots and lots of love. We'll talk to you real soon. Have a glorious, blessed day. Bye-bye.
Feeling inspired, ready to train for life and love your journey? Visit createyournow.com for more incredible resources to help you along the way. We'll see you next time on Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie. And remember, always be sure you consult your physician before beginning any health and fitness plan.